This is something that nobody saw coming, especially US and Israel, because this is something unprecedented, something never happened ever before. It is happening right now. June 12th war, or June 9th war, the 12-day war that took place this year, was really a pivotal moment for Iran and also for the Middle East. Israel made a big mistake, if not the biggest mistake in their history. Because when they attacked Iran, they pressed all the panic buttons in the Middle East, and that also helped other countries to pitch in to exert their dominance, their influence over the Middle Eastern countries, and I'm talking about China and Russia. That war, the 12-day war between Iran and Israel, it was a complete miscalculation, a big mistake, a blunder on Israel's part and also on Donald Trump's part when he dropped those bunker buster GBU bombs on Iranian nuclear sites. Because now the entire region is united. And every single day, this unity is getting deeper and deeper. It is not limited to just weapon transaction, oil for weapon or weapon for oil, whichever way you want to see it. But it is also now expanded to other areas, for example, bitcoins. Just 2 weeks ago, United States, they seized worth $15 billion of Bitcoin. And they traced it. They wanted to find out where these Bitcoins were coming from, because these are all shady work, shady business. And of course, they were not documented. That's what I mean by shady business. When they looked into it, when they investigated the matter, this Bitcoin, where it came from, $15 billion worth, they found out that it was Iran and China. Also, you have Iran buying Chinese aircrafts, the JC-20. I think that's the version they're buying from China, or they already bought it. Actually, they bought it, I believe, in August. And now we also know, and I have reported on this in my previous video, where I said that IRGC members, they're already preparing for the next attack. Iran is building shelters, bunkers. In fact, some of the elite IRGC members, they are now living under bunkers as we speak. Why? It is because of what happened on June. Again, I think it was 9th when they attacked Iran and killed the top leadership personnel of the Iranian military, IRGC. So they're in the bunkers. It's not that they're hiding or they're fearing for their life, because they made it very, very clear, Iranian generals, that we're willing to die for our country. It is not like Netanyahu. When he hears something, oh my God, is it a missile coming from Iran? Take me to the bunkers. So he goes into hiding. It is not like that for the IRGC members. Now, what happened this time? What happened this time? So what happened this time is very, very interesting. But before I do that, I actually want to play this video from Khamenei. Take a listen.
Cooperating with Iran is incompatible with cooperating with and aiding the accursed Zionist regime, Israel. Given that, in recent times, the whole world has seen, understood, and condemned that regime, the United States assists it, America supports and backs it. Under these conditions, U.S. cooperation with Iran has no meaning and is unacceptable. Yes, if they, the U.S., were to completely abandon their support for the Zionist regime, withdraw their military bases from here, and refrain from interfering in the region, then it would be possible to examine the issue. But that is not for now, nor for the near future. Some people.
So, Ali Khamenei, what he said. Take a listen.
Cooperating with Iran is incompatible with cooperating with and aiding the accursed Zionist regime.
Okay. So basically, he gave a choice to United States. You either choose me, you cooperate with me, or you cooperate with Israel. It cannot be both ways because that is not compatible. This is what he said. Not only this, he also said, Al-Khamenei, that we are not a nation to surrender. Because remember, Netanyahu and Donald Trump, they asked Iran to surrender, to give up their nuclear weapon ambition, and also to hand over, really, literally, hand over your missile program. That's literally what they wanted. And in return, they got a big fat zero. This is the response Iran gave. Big fat zero. You get nothing from us because we're not going to give you anything. So now what happened? So this time they have Iran, and I have actually reported on this. They're doing trades with China because remember, they are not supposed to do that. They are not supposed to do trade with China because they're under sanction. But they're doing trade with China. They're sending oil to China through Malaysia. They produce 1.5, I think, barrel per day, like 1.5 million barrel per day. That's the level of oil they produce each day. And Iran export 80 to 90% of it from 1.5 or 1.9 million barrel to China. In other words, Iran gives all its oil to China. And China is super delighted. They're super happy because they need a lot of oil. They are now the superpower of the time. And for any superpower to sustain its productivity, to keep producing commodities, weaponries, everything, vehicles, you need oil. And Iran is giving it almost 100% of its oil production to China. So China is absolutely delighted. They cannot be any happier than this. So they do business even though Iran is under sanction, but they do it in secrecy. So what happened this time? We know I mentioned this one. HQ-9 missile system is something that is a gem for China and for its air defense system. It's really that precious. But because of the sanction, they cannot give it to Iran. But Iran wants it. Iran wants this system because this is the same system that Pakistan got, Egypt got. So they ask China, we want this too. But China cannot give it to Iran because of the sanctions. So what they do, they have this shadow fleet, quote-unquote, shadow fleet. Why I'm saying quote-unquote, it is because the shadow fleet term was used or coined by Western countries. When you have a ship going off the radar and pretending to do business or carrying oil, but in reality they carry weapons, that's what they call shadow fleet, and Russia uses it, okay, again according to Western countries. So this time China said, okay, a HQ-9 you want, but you are under sanction, no worries, we'll use this shadow fleet and we will send all of this to you guys, don't worry. You give us oil, almost all of your oil you export to us, we will give you whatever you want. Pretty much. So HQ-1, Iran has it now. They have deployed their military, as I said. They're already taking their position, IRGC. They're ready. They're looking at the sky. The moment they are under attack, remember last time when Israel attacked Iran, they did not give them any notice. This is why perhaps a lot of the IRGC members were killed. No notice, nothing, no warning, nothing. All of a sudden, boom. Iran is this time playing it smart. So they are pointing their guns, their missiles, everything to the sky. The moment they see they are coming under attack, they are going to start fighting back. But some other reports saying Iran might even actually preempt. I think Scott Reeder, he said, Iran could actually go ahead and strike Israel without any excuse. They might preempt, but I don't think that will happen because Iran is not a country, is not a nation who is always looking or seeking to fight with its neighbor. And the military-industrial complex is pushing U.S. and Israel, really these are the only two countries in the world, to wage more war. That's why you see Ted Cruz, Lindsey Graham talking big about destroying Iran, destroying Venezuela, because the military-industrial complex, they pay them big fat checks. Okay, So right now, situation is totally out of control, as to what I understand from Israel and US's military perspective. And I can tell you that in the coming days, Iran is not done. They are probably going to be getting more and more weapons. If you take a look, in fact, at this report, you see Russian weapon freight train or cargo. They're landing in Tehran airport. So you can see this looks like a freight train, and all the weapons, everything that you see, according to this report, came from Russian military to support Iranian military. And so therefore, guys, unbelievable stuff happening. I'll give you more updates. Subscribe to my channel and see you next video.